Hello everyone, welcome to this story, and this story begins at this organization. This could be your organization, somewhere where you have worked in the past, you're working right now, or you want to work in the future. Let's get inside this workplace and see what's happening. This is William's cabin. Well, William is a senior manager with this organization and he's been around for last 7 years now. William is a true people leader and believes in teamwork. He does not encourage any kind of groupism within his team. This is William's team. Looks like any normal day at work, where team members are happy and they are cheerful. Look, William is here to meet his team. Wait, what's this? Of late, William has noticed that there's been sudden shift of behavior amongst his team members the moment he arrives on the scene. William is not happy about this. He apprehends that there could be group formation within his team. In fact, a lot of time his own team members have approached him to inform him that there is groupism within the team that's happening. William recalls he also has seen a couple of team members sitting together at work desk and brainstorming ideas. They're not collaborating with everyone, but it's only a few selected people who are often seen even at tea break, coffee break, and cigarette break. When it comes to breakout zones within the office, he often sees the same set of people around. As a result, some people are left isolated, and he believes if this continues, some of his A-rated talents might soon quit the company because of the toxic culture. William knows that if this continues, this could result to a lot of productivity and revenue losses as well, eventually leading to burnout and stress. William is not happy about this. He's been talking to someone this morning, and today he looks happy. The person that he has been talking to is his mentor and has committed that this is a very common problem across organization, but in form of sociometry and sociodiagram, there is a solution available. William is optimistic about this and thinks that the problem should get over soon. Look, the person is here to help William. Let's see what he has to share. So with this, I welcome you to this training session on sociometry and sociodiagram, an effective way to analyze your social network. So let's begin and know how this works. Well, let me introduce you to William's team. While I introduce you to this team as William's team, you can think of this as your own team or a team that you are a part of. It's a very common incident that happens across organizations where one team member is either isolated or there are multi-groups within a particular team. People often get into groups, or you would have received complaints about a specific team member, and that is what we will try to address via sociometry and sociodiagram. So if you see here, William's team has Robin, Steven, Samantha, Shirley, John, and Boris. These guys have been with William for quite some time now. As a leader, if you want to identify how is the bonding between your team members, are there groups, are there cliques, and cliques is an informal relationship between two team members within the group. Who is the most trusted team member? Who can be a potential leader in a change management scenario? That all you can figure out via sociometry and sociodiagram effectively. So how this works? To answer this question, let me ask you a question. If I was to ask you that who amongst these six could be a potential leader to lead a change management situation? What do you think? Could it be Robin? Could it be Shirley? Who could be a potential leader? Well, to answer this, you need to know about every individual of the team and how's the bonding between that individual with everyone. If I was to ask you, is there a group within the team? Is it Steven, Samantha, and Boris? Or is there a clique within the team? Is it John and Shirley? Well, you would often get influenced by people feedback. But it's very important to a social network mapping to analyze that relationships. And let's understand how sociodiagram helps you assess your social network. So let's understand how sociodiagram works. So now, to analyze how your team bonding is and how everyone interacts with each other, you can put in yourself as well when you are analyzing the social network to understand how does your team accepts you as a leader. It's very important to know that. So let's begin. To start off with, this is sociometry. So this, where you start off, is a sociometry where you have a form. On top you can see it says your name, where you're asking the person to fill in your name, which means whoever is filling the form. Let's say if you are filling the form, you will write your name there. And after that, you have certain questions that you want to capture. You can customize them accordingly. To share with you, I'm trying to judge my team members or interpret the relationship on trust, respect, like to talk, and prefer to work with the most. So these are a few questions that I want to administer and interpret the relationship. So how this works now, I'm asking them, whom do you trust the most? This is a superlative form. Person can choose only one name for each question, which means if I want to work the most with Steven, I will only select Steven. So let me just quickly show you how this works. So here's my pen. So let's on the first question, I say, whom do you trust the most? I can only select, if I say Robin, I'll select Robin. Whom do you respect the most? I say, let's say Boris. I can only select Boris. So it's superlative, the most, right? Whom do you like to talk to the most? Let's say Steven. So which means you only can select one team member. So each team member is asked to fill this sociometry form. Now when they fill this sociometry form and you have all the forms with you, you get back to your work desk, and these filled forms would look something like this. So for example, Robin has filled these forms and he says, whom do you trust the most? He says Samantha. Respect Steven. Talk to the most Boris. Prefer to work with the most Steven. So these are the answers that I've been able to capture from William's team in order to identify if there are groups, if there are cliques, or if there are subgroups which exists within his team. But how do you do that? So you have the sociometry filled. You get back to your work desk and you prepare a sociodiagram. So this is what a sociodiagram looks like. If you say I filled it only for Robin for now, the form that we were just looking at, this form is what I'm referring to. So here I have 4 arrows. Each arrow defines the question that I had asked in my sociometry form. Trust is identified by this color. Respect, talk, and work. So I have 4 arrows for each question. So if we go back and look at the form, it says, whom do you trust the most? And Robin has answered Samantha. So whom do you trust the most? So let's say trust is this arrow, and this arrow goes from Robin to Samantha. Then you have respect. Respect is dark blue. It goes from Robin to Steven. So what I'm supposed to do now is to draw the sociodiagram. I will draw these arrows pointing to each individual that the person has answered as the most preferred guy or a girl. Now when I have my sociodiagram finally ready, it would look something like this. It might look complicated, but there are some interesting facts hidden in the sociodiagram which will help you analyze your team's social network. I'm trying to figure out clusters, cliques, stars, bridges, or isolates. You might want to figure out something else, that is entirely on you, but yes, there are a lot of analysis that you can do. Let's see how do we approach from here on. So clusters are groups that exist within social network or subgroups. It is more than 2 people. If it's 2, it would be more likely be a clique. So let's see first if there is a clique here. A clique is defined by a relationship, an informal relationship between 2 people. So the arrow should be going across from the same person to the second person and the second person to the first person. So if we look carefully here, from John and Shirley, if you see trust. So John trusts Shirley and John loves talking to Shirley. And for Shirley as well, she also loves to talk to John and trusts John. So we can say there is kind of a clique which is coming up. It's not very strong as of now, else all the 4 arrows would have been exchanged between the 2 of them, or at least 3, but then yes, you must be cognizant of this clique in your team. Let's see on trust. Where do we have most of the peach colored arrows, you can call them? So let's see. Okay, so there's nothing here. Samantha, I guess. Let's say with Samantha. Robin trusts Samantha. Then you have Boris also trusts Samantha. Oh, Stephen also trusts Samantha. So there are 3 people who trust Samantha the most. So which means you can easily say that Samantha is the most trusted resource in the team. Let's see who is a star. A star is with who would have the most number of arrows coming into him. And without a doubt, with no confusion here, you can call that Stephen here. And if you see most of the stars that are coming to Stephen, that's purple and that's blue. They are the, how many number of stars are there, by the way? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11 almost. The highest amongst all. And most of them are purple and blue. Purple is work and respect. So now the sociodiagram, if you see, it talks a lot. So while there's a clique emerging between Shirley and John, Samantha is the most trusted resource in the team. And the person who is most respected and people love to work with is Stephen. And furthermore, if you want to dig deep, you can do a lot of analysis through this sociodiagram. So now, looking at this, we have somewhat a construct that if I want to choose a leader in a change management situation, Stephen would be the resource I would want to bet for. Because people trust him and they love to work with him. If I would want to say where there's a clique, it's Shirley and John clearly, so I'll be cognizant of this relationship. And let's talk about trusted resource. People, so if let's say it's a change management situation, you're doing a process change and someone has to be representing or talking about that process and convincing people about that process, because people trust Samantha, she'll be my face. Okay, so Boris is isolated as of now. So if you see, he could be my A resource, but if he's isolated, let's go back and have a look at the sociodiagram here. So if you see, how many arrows are coming in Boris? Okay, so there's only one arrow that's coming into Boris from Stephen, and that is respect. So if a powerful person respects Boris, there is some credibility in Boris which must be looked into. But no other person has sent any arrows into Boris. This is a point to think about. If Boris is my A resource, I better check this because I don't want to lose him. Yeah. So that is what social networking analysis helps you with. So now I have somewhat an evidence that Stephen can be my potential leader while Samantha is trusted resource. Boris is currently isolated, so I should look into him. So that is where your sociodiagram and sociometry helps you. And I hope you would have picked something from this training session. And if you like sociometry and sociodiagram like William, do give this video a thumbs up, like, share and subscribe to my channel. Have a great day ahead. Thanks for watching. Goodbye.